I didn't even expect to make it past the first round, and then there we were, and I was shaking their hands. I was like, oh no, here we go. Next thing you know, I'm a meme.
Yeah. Yes, you are. What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional stuntman who is best known for being the winner of Trickstar Season 1. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Andrew Franklin.
What's up, everybody? I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Trav.
What's up, Trickstar?
It's crazy to be here right now. It's wild. Everybody, a lot of my heroes have sat in this chair, so
I know.
I'm very excited to be here. I can't believe that
And we have
get
another.
to come on this.
Oh, this is going to be a funny episode, guys, because I've been wanting to do this episode for a long time, just simply to talk about like you and your life's journey, but obviously talk about one of the most things that you're most well known for that I partly feel responsible for.
Just a little bit.
So-
It might all be your fault, but it's okay.
So we'll have to delve into that over time, man. But before everyone, before we go backwards in time, what have you been up to now recently? You moved out to LA and you've been pursuing stunts full time?
Yeah, I'm doing stunts full time. Been working here and there. I'm still very new in the game. I'm still very young. I mean, I'm not even 21 yet. I'm 20. All you coordinators though, I'm a 30-year-old at heart, so I can come out and help you whatever you need to do.
This guy's
you know?
not 21 yet.
I'm a baby, but I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities so far, and definitely I'm doing the right thing. I'm really excited to
Hell yeah.
keep pursuing stunts, keep doing what I'm doing. It's a lot of fun.
I know you moved just kind of into like a mini tricker house. Like we got a bunch of mini jam houses.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Who's at your jam house?
So our house, we're actually the closest to jam, so we like to call ourselves the actual jam house.
You just screwed yourself over because everyone's gonna want to stay with you now.
Nah. You still don't know where we at though. Like we just
sold himself.
we
out.
just close to jam. We just the closest. There's a bunch of houses you could go visit and
So
stay
who lives
at.
with you guys?
Nah, we live. I got Kyle Potter and Justin Chang.
Cool.
We all live in the house. We do a lot of stuff together. We're always training
Have
together.
you guys known each other from what, Sideswipe days?
Oh, we've known each other for a long time.
How long?
Let's see. I've known Kyle for at least 9-10 years.
Okay.
Like he's known me since I was a very little kid. When I was first starting to do camps with Sharkies.
Yep.
And then Justin Chang I met when I was around 14. And we been training, good friends ever since. We got to travel together, do Sideswipe shows.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
And for people that don't know, Sideswipe was an action performance team that really thrived on doing sport karate back in the day.
Yeah. We did lots of live performances. You know, we did Lakers halftime shows or other basketball halftime shows. We got flown by the Navy to go and do shows for the troops and their kids at different naval bases around the world. So
Yeah.
really great experience, lots of fun. Met a lot of great people through that. Got to train with a lot of great people through that. So.
And at one point, they even had a Vegas show, right? Were you
Yeah,
part
they
of
did.
that?
I wasn't a part of that. I was a little young for that. I was a little young. I'm a little bit more the younger generation. You'll hear that a lot.
So.
But pretty much Kyle was a part of that, though. Kyle moved out with him. They had a residency at the Tropicana,
Cool.
I believe. And they did over an hour show
Yeah,
of
that's wild.
of
Of
just
sport
straight
karate.
tricking and sport karate and little acting and skits that here and there, and it was just one big cohesive sport martial arts show, which is pretty wild because still don't think anyone has really done something like that.
Not at that level, you
No,
know?
yeah.
A lot of people have tried, but yeah, and it's cool to see all the different members of the team and how successful they are.
Yeah,
so
and where
many
they are
arenas.
now, it's very cool. It's very
Yeah.
cool. A lot of big bros that I look up to that are doing their own thing now.
Yeah,
all started from there.
For those that aren't familiar, the team was kind of led up by Matt Mullins, who's now stunt coordinating and fight coordinating tons of shows. But you had members on there who's doing stunts from there now, like Brendan Hewer.
Yeah, Brendan Hewer.
Fight
I mean,
coordinating.
if we're talking about the original members,
Yes.
we're talking Chris
Brewster,
Brewster, Jackson
Jackson
Spidell, who are huge stunt performers now, heavy hitters, and
Chris Brewster is actually directing movies now.
yes, I heard about that.
He's not only the
doing his own
Daredevil
film.
stunt double, but yeah, he's been directing movies.
Yeah, which is crazy. It's crazy to see where they all are now. But we also had people like Brendan and Micah, a lot of
Brendan
good
Hewer,
guys.
Micah
Craig
Barnes,
Henningsen.
Craig Henningsen.
Yeah, I didn't forget about you, Craigie.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of guys back then. It's crazy. So how did you get your start into XMA? What was your first introduction to martial arts?
My first introduction with martial arts was Power Rangers, and for a lot of kids my time, that was it. You know, some
Even for my generation.
even for your generation, you know,
That's one thing we have in common.
100%. You know, I watched Jason David Frank be the Green Ranger.
Totally.
all the time. And pretty much my parents just saw me trying to imitate moves. And for some reason, my dad insisted that like that was going to be the first thing I did. So I started karate when I was 4 years old.
That's awesome.
And what's really crazy is the school that I ended up going to was Jason David Frank's like second school that he owned.
Okay.
And it was in Santa Clarita. And that's where I grew up.
And that's kind of funny because your dad pushed it, but he's not the Asian one.
No, my dad's the white one.
Exactly.
My dad was like, he's gonna fill out his roots. He's gonna do it right. My mom's half Filipino, I'm half Filipino. My mom's Filipino.
Yeah.
My dad is the white one, but he was the one that really made sure that I went to classes and everything. And it was cool because I would watch these videos of the green power, Tommy, the Power Ranger, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then go take his class.
And how old were you when you started martial arts? And what was it, traditional karate?
Yeah, so he had his own system. It was like a form of American karate, but a lot of the forms were mostly Shotokan.
Okay.
Shotokan karate, and he taught there. I started when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And just been going strong, training ever since.
And then when you get introduced to XMA and start competing?
Yeah, so we weren't a huge competition school. To be honest, there was only a few people that were competing, but we used to have old videos of Mark C. and Matt Emig.
Yeah, of course.
Old videos of them at US Open doing their forms against each other, and that was those are the people that really I looked up to and tried to and wanted to emulate. And I really just wanted to do the cool moves, you know, wanted to do all the jump kicks.
Were they teaching those at your school, like tricking at all?
Not at all.
So just
it was like after classes,
Yeah.
you would get to. Like if you hung around on the mat, you got to try extra kicks here and there. We put out I think we had like one cheese mat, but before we had the cheese mat, we had like couch cushions, and that's what you were trying your like B twists onto or like whatever it was you were trying your aerials. But I started competing with my original school, and then my family realized I really wanted to do NASKA, and from there we just jumped in. We started doing NASKA, and I was really fortunate to have parents that pushed me and helped me. And gave me opportunities to train with my heroes, pretty much.
Yeah, because it's not a cheap sport.
Oh, it's really not.
You basically are funneling money in for trophies in return.
Yeah, yeah.
If you win.
Yeah. I mean, you're not. You don't have a chance to win money until you're 18 years old doing the adult division.
Totally.
And even then, the money you can get is somewhat limited in that aspect, you know. But it was still a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and they could tell that's what I wanted to do, and so it became a thing, you know. Sometimes where they saw who I was watching, whose videos I would watch here and there, and they would just say like, "Oh, like, do you want me to ask if like we see them at US Open? Do you want me to ask if they had a private?" And like my mom was always the one; she was never scared. She'd be like, "Oh, my son really likes your stuff. Like,
totally.
you want to do a private? Like, we'll pay for a private." And I used to kind of look negatively at that, like, oh, I was like a little privates kid, like a kid who always got lessons, a kid who always got to be taught by like all these different people. But now I look back, I'm pretty thankful for it because I've met a lot of great people.
That was your only way of learning, though, right? Because
my school, my original karate school, we didn't have any chop punches. We didn't have no form that was NASKA built. If people don't really know what that is, or if you don't know what that is, NASKA forms have kind of a formula, and they've kind of held that formula till now, except for Salif.
Forever.
Salif, you're killing it. You breaking the formula. You do that thing.
But the rest
Salif
has been pretty much the same formula.
But yeah, you know, you got the skip front, jump front at the end, the round off flash kick to the corner.
Crossing pattern.
You know, you start, maybe you do something on your way back after you present to the judges. Yeah. So there wasn't really anyone to teach me that at my original karate school.
And who were the guys that you got to do privates with primarily?
Originally, this is crazy because the timing worked out amazing where I started getting into NASKA around 2007. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I dated myself again. I know I'm really young, but it was around 07.
2000.
Yeah, 2007. And pretty much I went to Camp Chat with all the Sharkies guys, and when I joined Cap Chat at US Open, that was my first Sharkies camp. Okay, cool. And I talked to Mike Chat there, and he was like, "Oh, hey, we're actually opening up a gym in LA in your area." And I remember not really knowing. My mom was like, "Oh, that's where Andrew's got to go. Like his traditional school isn't really showing him all the form stuff that he wants, all the tricking stuff. So maybe he'll go to XMA." And sure enough, end of 07, 08, XMA was open and up and running, and that's where I started taking classes. Took my first tricking class there. Did a lot of forms privates there. Worked with Mike Chat. Worked with a lot of other people at tournaments because Mike Chat wasn't really going around to the tournament circuit at the time.
Yeah.
So he would give me different people to work with in LA, and on top of that, while I was out on the circuit, I would do privates with people like Brendan, Mark C. Pretty much, like I said, anyone that my mom was like, who do you want to review? Yeah, she'd be like, who do you want to review your form before this weekend? And I'd be like, who did hella good at the weekend won, before? Right? I'd be like,
yo, Connor, pull up one of the other ones.
I'd be like, oh, Brendan's form looked really good. Let me do a private with Brendan, or let me do a private with Micah, So whoever it was.
Pull up the 2010.
Oh, sure. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So how old are you here then? So this is 3 years into competition.
Yeah,
right?
this is when I was fully doing all of NASKA. This is crazy. Oh, look at me.
Look at your hair.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I will say this ain't even a real traditional form for everybody out there. You can't find this. This is not a real form with a name.
Look so at who's making these forms at this point?
Actually, what's crazy is Mike Chat made half of this form, and then Scott Wu made a part of this form. I was training with some of the pro rank guys too.
Okay.
I trained with like the Sharky guys, even some of the pro rank guys, and Scott Wu made some of this form, and then Mike Chat made another part of it. It's like a creative traditional form, which is very frowned upon these days.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's very frowned upon these days. People are like, if you're not doing a real form, you can't really do it. This is all made up.
How old were you when you got your black belt? Because you're competing at black belt here, right?
I never really got a real black belt, but I got a junior black belt from my school when I was about 8.5, 9 years old.
Okay.
I think I was the first junior black belt at my school originally.
And did you compete unsponsored, or did you ever get picked up by a team eventually?
No.
You were in an XMA jacket.
Well, yeah,
right?
the thing was the XMA team wasn't really a thing anymore. Like they used to have the XMA team where they'd wear the Craig was on it, Nicole Habermill, Caitlin Deschelle, the black uniforms with the zip up in the center, had the cut off sleeves and everything. Yeah. But at the time that I was getting into competitions, Miss Chat didn't really have a team anymore.
Okay.
There was just a couple kids that were around LA that were training. I don't know if you've heard of them. One was Tana Dow. I don't know where she is right now, but the other one was Jacob Pinto.
Yep.
And he was one of the first people I ever trained with.
Yep.
Ever did sport karate with at XMA. So
me
and Jacob have had a long history together. We've known each other for a long time. I was there when he landed his first kick full. He was there when I landed my first cart full. He was always kind of the one that I was trying to trick like.
Yeah.
Because he was doing the crazy moves already, and I came with like maybe a janky ass aerial.
And what's the difference in age? Are you guys the same age, or is he
he's about 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So he's a little older. So I was always like, trying to catch up to him tricking wise. But yeah, it was really cool. It's pretty crazy where we've gone now, seeing back then where we all just started at XMA.
It's crazy when I look back on it, because shortly after XMA opened, then maybe a couple years after that, we opened White Lotus.
Yes.
And then that's when we started seeing both you guys pop up as like the two little kids.
Yeah.
They were trying to train with all the adults.
And I wasn't really too into... I knew about the sport karate world a lot because I was watching all those videos and whatnot, all the sport martial arts videos. But as far as being a part and knowing what was going on in the tricking world, I didn't really know a ton. So when I went to XMA, it was my first real introduction to it.
Yeah.
Like my first tricking class I ever took was taught by Kim Do and Jeremy Martinez.
No way.
Together.
That's pretty funny.
Together.
At like, XMA too. So that was early on when they weren't working yet.
There were times where Mike Chat would tell me as a little kid, like, never gonna see all these people in the room together.
Never.
You're never gonna see all these people in the room together again. Like this is a rare time. They'd all just came down.
Totally.
All had just started at 87. They were teaching workshops at XMA every once and often. And my first class was from Jeremy and Kim, and from there I was actually hooked. I wanted to be just like Kim Do. Wanted to be just like Jeremy. They were just tricking, having sessions, and then not long after that there was White Lotus.
Yeah.
And White Lotus is I think when Anis was coming around, that's when he started coming around. He did teach one. I know you came from Santa Barbara and
had one workshop
at XMA, and I wasn't actually there for that, but I think
that was a crazy workshop.
That was a crazy workshop. I wasn't there for that, but I know in time relation to the first time I trained with Anis, it was after the 9 corks in 9 seconds video.
Okay.
After that video, that's when I was like looking for tricking.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that popped off,
And to be honest, no one knew about the sessions at that point.
Oh, no one.
Because
They were empty.
No one knew that I had opened the gym at all. So like once I put that video out, slowly we started getting like a few people at night and stuff.
Even when I first started going to Lotus, the sessions
empty.
were bare.
It was like
the
5, 10 of
by the
us.
time Lotus ended, you had to find space on that floor. Like there would be 4 sign-in sheets. Like
crazy.
Michael Phillips, like got a line out the door just to walk into White Lotus.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, bro.
White
But
Lotus was crazy.
I remember that video came out. I was hyped on it.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is some dope shit. And he's just fucking really good.
Yeah.
And after that, I think he came by XMA to teach something. And I don't know how, maybe my mom did some talking to him or something. But I don't know how the opportunity presented itself. But he was like, hey, do you want to start training with Anis?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
People.
I really would. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And then that's really kind of the last person I took privates from.
Yeah, I remember. White Lotus was
After
like kind of the last
after I
time.
started training with Anis, that was like pretty much it. I had decided that he was going to be the one that was going to keep training me.
Did he like help you unlock anything, or is there anything that like stuck out from his teachings compared to other
Liz,
people?
I don't know what he saw, because Anis, he didn't really give out privates,
Yeah, he's very picky.
and I didn't really know it at the time, but I have people tell me now that like, oh, like, you know, Anis didn't really teach people. Why was he teaching you and stuff? And I don't know what he saw, because it was not very good. I was a little chubby kid. He had people like Jacob Pinto to choose from, and like other great trickers.
But
and,
Pinto was training with Jeremy.
yeah, that's very true.
He was kind of like Jeremy's protege.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. But yeah, Anis helped me with just more than anything the mindset that I trained with today, and Jeremy and Danny as well. They ended up playing a big role in the way that I trick today, and forever thankful. They're like my big brothers. Anis just helped me look at things the way I look at them now, which is you got to look good while you do your stuff. It's not what you do, it's how well you do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, drilling stuff. Sometimes we just do hook kicks for 30 minutes.
People don't know.
They don't know. They don't know. Sometimes he would just do that
He
at a
used to do
session.
them for hours in front of
Yeah,
me.
he'd
I would
be
just
like-
sit there and go, yes.
Yeah, Andrew, hold the phone. Andrew, watch. Was it like this? Was it like that? You know?
Just hook kicks.
And so that stuck with me for a long time. You know,
Yeah.
like to this day, you'll find me working on my basic kicks just because of that. Because they always made sure they said, if you have a solid base, a solid foundation, that everything else is just going to be better from there.
Yeah.
And that'll help you a lot down the road. So
'Cause it'll affect all your variations.
100%.
You know what I'm
Now when I find myself struggling with a variation or struggling with something that I'm trying to land, I'll just go back, do basics for a little bit, you know, not rush, really focus in on what I'm trying to do. Maybe if the variation has a hook kick, I might just do standing hook kicks. I might just do cheat sevens for 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And that definitely was ingrained into me from a young age, and it was very valuable lessons for sure.
100%. And then you kind of touched on it, but like shortly thereafter, you guys kind of established a relationship with you, Jacob, and Donovan.
Yes.
Kind of established a relationship with Jeremy,
Ninos!
Anis, and Danny. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the 3 amigos, so they picked up you guys as the 3 Ninos.
Yeah.
And you guys started like, I don't know, it was cool. It was a cool time because you all were training at White Lotus / Jam.
Yep.
And they were all training at the same time.
Yeah.
And so like it was a really rare time where like, you got to see like 2 generations kind of at the same time helping each other out.
Yeah, I remember when that was when it was decided that we were gonna be the Ninos.
When was it official? Do you remember? Was it before the hyper battle?
It was definitely before the hyper battle.
Okay.
We were brought.
Pull that one up. Yeah, play that one.
We were brought in. People don't know this, but we had a little stint of going to 87 and being trained by them. It wasn't like training for stunts or anything like that. It was just
private training.
It was just private training. They were just trying to get us good at tricking. But I definitely. Oh wow.
They were honestly testing your dedication too.
100%.
They would call you guys down to see if you would actually go on weekends.
100%. I remember a very vivid moment actually, where Jeremy texts all these people, this big group of guys. I'm the youngest, like me, Donnie, and Jacob are the youngest people in this group. Everyone else was people trying to do stunts, mostly like stunt performers. He said, "Hey, it was Easter." That's why it was this. That's why I remember this, because I was sitting at like a family Easter brunch, and I just got in this text, and my mom was looking over my shoulder.
She saw it.
And that's where I got fucked, because there was no way I was getting out of it, because my mom saw the text. My mom was like, "Oh yeah, really? Yeah, you're going. I'll take you right after this, you know?"
way.
And I ended up being the only one that day that showed up. and it was just me and Jeremy. And
Which
Jeremy said, well, we're going to do circuits first.
It's a blessing and a curse, I was going to say. It's
And-
good you went, but bad
Oh,
you
it was great. It was a great experience looking back on it. But at the time, I was throwing
got
up.
murdered,
I
yeah.
was being murdered. He took a picture of me running the sled on my back. I'm doing fireman carries as like a 14, 13-year-old. I'm running up, scaling up that wall and jumping down as part of a circuit. I'm like, oh, gee. I got worked. I tried a lot of new moves that day just because Jeremy was like, these are the moves are going to work.
Yeah. And if you fall, he's tried, do it again.
100%. There were times when, because let's be honest, like Donnie and Jacob, their difficulty was a little higher than mine. Like, look at me waiting to go after he just busts this combo down. I do a janky cheat double 9. Look at that 10. I'm like, oh, see, that's where I call it quits. You go, Jacob. That's you.
Double
see?
quick to splits.
Yep. So let's be honest. The skill level, there was a little bit of a difference,
Yeah.
you know?
But you're younger than all of them, too.
100.
Because Donovan was how many years older?
Donovan was like 3 or 4
3 or 4
years older.
Yeah.
100%. But, you know, in their eyes, no excuse. I could still try all the stuff. So, you know, it was like, okay, we did cheat 9 hook B twist and we did all the variations. Now we got to do cheat 9 hook double B twist.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I've never done double B twist before. I've never tried this shit. Like, what am I going to do? They're like, just try it. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
First time I ever tried double B twist.
Yep.
So, you know, there were great experiences looking back on it. I got worked and I learned a work ethic that I carry with me to this day. And I'm forever thankful, as always, because they showed me how to train super hard. Even when you don't want to, you got to push your limits all the time. And that's how you grow, you know?
Yeah.
In a state that you're uncomfortable, that's when you grow.
Yeah, 100%, man. And a lot of people would kill for the opportunity to have trained with those guys. So,
100%.
yeah, the fact that you got to train with them at a pivotal time when they had the time was like
wild that they would just be in
unparalleled.
time for that long.
Yeah.
It's crazy. No
Now,
one's
we
in
never
town.
see
Yeah,
them
you
now.
barely see them. I see them sometimes, you know?
They're always working, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy, man. So shortly thereafter, you guys just kind of just started battling together, going around to a bunch of things. You know, we're watching some of the hyper battles right now.
Yeah.
And then I know sometimes like you and Jacob got to battle at Adrenaline together on the
Yes.
2-on-2s.
Yes, we did.
So
Yeah, that was it was good times. It was good times. I was still battling, wasn't jaded from Trickstar yet.
yes,
You know, so I was still down to do it. There's a little part of me that like still was kind of like, I think I need to train a little more before I go out here and like battle these other kids. 'Cause
totally.
Like Cody's still busting crazy stuff.
I know,
Like look
yeah.
at what he's doing now, and that's still crazy to this day. Like he's doing cool stuff. I'm out here doing cheat 9. So,
Yeah, it's
you know,
crazy, man.
it was still fun though. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, we got to kind of just get into it then, dog.
Yeah, we in
because
it. Listen.
We've been waiting to talk about this for so long. The world
Talk
has been
your shit,
waiting-
Sway.
The world has been waiting to talk about this for so long.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Connor, pull up the first one, but don't press play on it yet, just the first battle. That brings us to a little tournament that came out. I just want to look at the date of this one, when it was released. What's the date in the description say? November 15th, 2013 is when it came out. But little do people know we filmed this significantly earlier.
Yes, and in 2 parts.
And in 2 parts.
People
So,
don't know that either.
We are about to break down Trickstar Season 1, Break the Wall, and I'm going to tell you guys all the secrets about what happened, what led up to it.
And I'm gonna tell you why I look so scared in all these videos. You guys gonna know. Just pay attention.
Listen to the narrative. So, long story short, a lot of people don't even know the origin of Trickstar. So, Trickstar was originated by myself and a good friend of mine who hosts the Jam Breakdown, known as Sam Parham. Sam is a member of Team 3 Run, and he's always been like the most significantly entrepreneurial person I've always looked up to. One of the things he fell into was a YouTube channel known as Flow.
Flow
You
Network.
can go to youtube.com/flow. The channel still exists. They kind of stopped putting effort into it as of 3 years ago. But basically, at the launch of the channel, they had 0 subscribers, 0 anything. They contacted Sam because he had a huge social media presence and was just good at producing content. And they signed him to a contract to produce 24 hours worth of content for the next calendar year to just build their channel up. Sam was like, that's damn near impossible to do alone because he was still doing stunts in the UK. So he contacted me and gave me a budget to do a couple of different series. I did one with my friend Ben Jenkin. I did some where I just went around to tournaments and did vlogs. But then we really were like, dude, we need to really come up with something that's going to eat a lot of this time limit up. And I was like, dude, I've always wanted to do a tricking tournament. Round robin style, 16 people down to 1. So seems easy on paper. This is where we start getting to the crazy parts.
Here we go.
So while I'm getting the idea to do Trickstar season 1, I am not home in Los Angeles. I am filming a movie called Transformers 4, which I leave early to go on to a movie called Fast and Furious 7, which I was the assistant fight coordinator on. And I'm trying to plan this battle round out while I'm in Atlanta, across the country.
I was not even here.
Not even here. And so what I did was I just, in my head, a lot of people, what they do is they stack a bracket so that in the end, you have who you want to see in the finals.
Yeah.
That's how most tournaments are run. Mm-hmm. I designed a bracket where in the first round, I saw the matchups I wanted to see.
The best matchups.
Which is pretty fucked up.
Dude, they were crazy matchups. Like, they were crazy like Will Coney's versus, who did he battle
Will
for?
Coney's battled Michael Guthrie
Guthrie
round.
first. I remember this was a big deal because Will Coney's just won the Red Bull Throwdown.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, yo, Will gassing in. Will about to vote. Well, he's about to give Mike a run for his money, maybe. Like, it's about to be a good battle.
But people didn't know, like, I did not design this so that at the end I would know who's in the finals. I designed this to see the hardest matchups in the first round and then see what the fuck happened from there.
Yep.
So anyone that thinks that I staged it for Andrew is wrong. Full transparency. Everyone can listen. Full transparency. I designed the tournament for Michael Guthrie to win. Boom.
Listen to that. Let that sink in. Sway.
I called Michael Guthrie before the tournament started, and I knew that he wasn't a part of a lot of public things, and he wasn't a part of battles. And I basically pitched it to him that, like, I really designed this tournament. I think you have a really good chance of winning, and I'm giving this fat cash prize. And that was really what inspired him to be a part of it, too, because he needed money at the time. He took my word that I wasn't going to, like, sell him out, and, you know, I was going to, like, do everything right, fly him out, fly his girl out. So for everyone out there, even though I knew Andrew Franklin as a kid, I actually designed this tournament so that we could have a Trickstar battle and be like, Michael Guthrie is the Trickstar, y'all.
The Trickstar. The best in the world. The best.
We all know what happened. So here we go.
Let's run the chat. Let's play it.
So here we go, round 1. And I'm not going to lie, Andrew Franklin probably had one of the toughest sides of the bracket.
Yo, it was rough. Let me tell you guys something. Look who I battled. I battled everybody at this time. This is 2013, okay? Yeah. There's no Shosei. There's no Taka. There's no Alex Anderson. Like, look who I battled at 2013.
Yeah,
who had the most fanboys? Micah. Who had the next most fanboys?
Michael Guthrie.
Right? Then we go down the list. Andy Lee. Bailey Payne, who already had followers at the time. Like, so, I was up against everybody who had a consistent following.
What's that? Oh, yeah. So fast forward to the actual battle. So round 1 of the entire tournament, starting it off, is Micah Carnes versus Andrew Franklin. And we're trying to fast forward up to the battle. Here's another thing that no one knows that I'm going to put out here. If you guys watch this battle we're about to watch, you'll see people slip, and you'll wonder why they're slipping. So here's what made the battles more interesting. Those puzzle mats were brand new out of the bag, less than 12 hours.
We helped put them on the floor.
And if you've ever opened brand new puzzle mats, they are the slippiest surface of all time until you break them in. And so this almost was like an even factor because it put people on an even playing field. And if you notice round 1, look at the judges. It's not 5, guys. It's only 3. We have Chris Balualua and Steve Tirada and Anis Chuerfa. Because we filmed the first 4 battles on a separate day because I could only get away for a limited amount of time from filming.
Yep. It's crazy.
It's super crazy.
It was super crazy. I was deathly nervous and afraid. Look at that. Look at me slipping around.
From the puzzle mats?
Oh, no.
And then it just became a game of who was going to trick smarter that night. Because some people decided to take a risk. Other people quickly realized, oh, these puzzle mats are the death
These
of me.
are not the way to go.
Yep. But that's why people like you and Micah fell right there. It was the mats. And I don't think a lot of people knew this for all these years. 6 years later, we're pulling down the veil and letting people know.
Look at that backside. I haven't done a backside 900 in years.
Yo, and Micah with the cork rodeo to splits.
Dope. Yeah, I was very nervous to battle Micah. I've always looked up to Micah. Even when I went to camps at like boot camp, summer camp, winter camp, I would go to some of the little parts of the camps at Sharky's, and you know he was usually teaching them.
Yeah, of course.
And he was usually helping teach. He was the one that would help out with like tricking stuff. He was the one always tricking. He was kind of like Big brother, you know, and I was super nervous when I got the call and was told that
Micah
I would
was
be
your
back.
first battle.
And it's crazy. Travis didn't call me, which is why I couldn't say no.
He didn't, because I knew Andrew would be a little too intimidated. So I asked some friends to call you. So who officially invited you to battle in Trickstar?
Anis Chuerfa invited me. And that's like, you know, your sensei telling you, oh, this is what you got to do. There's no yes or no. You're doing it, you know. And I remember getting the call, and he's like, hey, Andrew, and I really think that you should, it'd be really cool if you battle Micah. I think that's what we're thinking. And I was like, yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, blah, blah, blah. I hung up the phone. I was at my friend's house. I called my mom, said, Mom, you got to pick me up, take me to Jam. I got to start training right now. I got to go. Like, this is not going to be good if I don't start training.
And you got super lucky, man. You stayed on your feet,
Yep.
and you survived round 1 against Micah Carnes.
Oh, yeah.
And for a lot of people, you could kind of see at the end of that video there when Micah fell on the double cork, you could kind of see people in the background. What's cool about this, man, is that not only did we film this, but everyone kept the winner's secret.
Oh, yeah.
No one leaked it. It was unheard of for its time, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really proud of what we did back in the day. Of course, I could have improved upon a lot of things, made it flashier, made it cooler, but dude, we shot this with just the homies. D'Angelo Harding on camera, you know.
We had a lot.
Devin
lot of
Sheehan
people
on camera, my buddy Samuel McCaig on camera. So let's go to round 2 of your battle.
Yes.
So for you guys thinking, oh, he survived Micah Carnes, who does he go up against next in the next round? Is Andy Lee,
the beast himself.
Yep.
The one who can kick way better than me, even though my thing is kicks.
And here's what's crazy, guys. So this is something that you'll see, which is, I don't know, some people may see it as an advantage for you, which it kind of is round 2 for Andrew is with all 5 judges here.
Yes.
Because this is on the second filming date where we completed the rest of the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, Guthrie had to do 1 extra battle than you, right? Because I think he did.
Yeah, huh?
I think he had to do his first round battle this night as well.
Yeah.
And you had already done yours.
I just remember that, yeah.
So that's one other thing that may have added to why Mike, in the last round, Mike had done 1 extra battle compared to Andrew at this point. But as you guys will see, now we're on filming session 2. We have 5 judges here, and that's why. It's because it was the second day I came back. I literally flew in on a Friday night. These guys had already landed. I had friends helping out, and we filmed Saturday. Did like a mini gathering Sunday. I got on a plane Sunday, went straight back to the movie.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, I forgot that we had to finish it.
Yep.
When I remember I was trained really hard, and then I beat Micah somehow and was like, wow, it's over, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And I realized it's a bracket. And Travis was like, hey.
We still got to finish.
Called me, I think he called me like 3 weeks out and was like, hey, so like blah, 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 we want to lock in these dates and whatever. And I was like, oh, no. I have not been training hard tricks. Like, I had just been like coming in and training sometimes. I was like not battle ready in my opinion. So that week I was like just working on combos that I could throw because we knew it was going to be 5 passes no matter what. So I was like, I need to have at least 5 combos locked in that I know I can hit, you know. But I almost at this point had like put my hands up, and I knew going into it like
only Jeremy voted against you.
Oh yeah, okay. We could talk about that more as we see. But I didn't really get a vote from Jeremy. Jeremy, I love you, Jeremy.
Jeremy got no favorites. He don't like nobody.
No, he don't care,
he
bro.
Don't have
he
a
don't
single
care.
favorite.
And I love Jeremy. He's very nice. He's a big brother. He's
So-
helped me out a lot, but you know he wasn't gonna vote for me now with those flex feet.
So did you pre-plan all of your passes going into these?
Okay, so first round with Micah, 100%.
Okay.
When I came into the Andy one, I had like 3 because I was expecting to lose. So I had the
You didn't even think you were gonna go on.
Oh hell no! I was ready to go home and just chill or just watch everything else after the first battle.
Yeah.
When they voted for me against Andy, I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Who am I even battling next? Because at that point I was like, fuck it, you know, like I beat one person. That must be good enough, you know. Like now I got Andy now. Like okay, so I was not expecting to win.
Okay.
And who did I think I battled Bailey after Andy?
Yeah, so after this, we move on, and that's kind of funny because it really tells the story of us taking a break between the 2 days because it was originally supposed to be Matt Emig.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
He would have battled Matt Emig in that round.
Rip.
But Matt Emig unfortunately got injured, and he didn't want to hurt himself.
Yes, I remember this.
Because we actually sustained some injuries in the first round. Jefferson Lewis hurt his hamstring
Kyle
on a
McLean.
jackknife, and Kyle McLean hurt his groin on a cheat hyper knife.
After that nasty first combo.
His first combo was
with
a
the
banger.
Iron Man.
Banger.
Kyle McLean made Iron Man, for all you guys that don't know that.
He made a lot of moves.
Yeah, a lot of moves too. But like that's the most recent one that like people still do, and I don't really think people give him a lot of credit.
If
for
he
that.
came out of a round off, it was most likely a Kyle McLean move.
Original full up is like pretty sure that's Kyle.
McDirty, you know, like
McDirty,
yeah, Lone Star.
Yeah,
like
Kyle is very slept on. He was one of my favorite trickers. You know, he
100%.
made a lot of cool stuff.
So long story short, Matt Emmett gets injured between the first and second taping, so he decides that he doesn't want to move on, which is funny because in his first round, he battled an injured Sashamaru.
Oh, yeah?
And, that's crazy that Sesh got eliminated first round. But
Dude,
he
it's crazy that we had
a
a battle with Matt Emmett against Sashamaru.
In the first round.
That is some OG shit.
You,
like, that's probably not going to happen again, let's be honest.
I stacked the first round. It was insane. Kyle McLean versus Kyle Cordova.
Heavy hitters.
So moving on, we go to the semifinals now. And on one side of the bracket, we have you versus Bailey Payne. And Bailey opens up with an XL double back.
And what do I decide to do? You got to know your judges sometimes.
You got to know your judges. You got to do kicks. And you even said, haha, look at this.
Boom. Simple.
Yep.
That was all right, Jack.
So technically right now, it's kind of a split. If you like power tumbling, you go for that. If you like kicking, you go for you, And so he tries to answer with the jackknife, hits his corks, bomb. He's off to the races doing Bailey stuff.
Yeah, he's killing it. Yep. Yeah, I don't even remember what I did. So the raise, the aerial.
So you didn't think you were even going to be around at this point.
So no, like these are all just me pretty much like sessioning, trying not to fall. That kind of thing, like super easy stuff I knew I could do. I didn't expect to be Bailey either.
Totally. And I think
he started with double back. I was like, well, I ain't got nothing to match that. Let me just jackknife real quick.
But we saw, though, he just fell right now on a double.
Yeah.
And the other thing that he did was he hit his a swing chain again, which kind of like looks the same. So from an outsider perspective, like these are the things that certain judges look at, Yeah. And he fell again.
Yeah, I just kept thinking
he fell 2 rounds.
Yeah, just like, stick to what you know. Don't do anything too crazy. You're not going to win anyway. So just kind of throw some kicks. Like, look, I tried to do some hard, but I still messed up.
And before we go
Jeremy's laughing at me. I see you.
We got to talk about that because it's kind of like a differing ideology between judges. So there are some judges that if they see someone fall once in a battle, they've lost.
That is very true.
So I just want to this is the mindset that you have to put yourself in. So I know that now the judging system, that was a crazy good save by Bailey, but he was not happy with the finish. Nowadays, it's cool. They try to go round by round to make it more fair.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that judging system, which replicates a lot of the breaking system, is successful in some ways because you see a round, you're like, oh, he won that round. You see a round, he won that round.
Definitely.
We didn't do that during this battle system.
Jeremy did vote for me.
Oh, he did. It's because Bailey fell.
Yeah,
we did overall cumulative where you take a look at it. And the thing that you have to keep in mind when you have these cumulative battles where you just watch all 5 rounds and judge is there are going to be some judges that are judging, okay, I think maybe he won 1 round, he won round 1, he won 1, he won 1. There are some judges that view it as a performance. And if they see some guy fall, that's like dropping your weapon in a NASKA for him.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. It's a mindset that comes from the sport karate world where if you put your knee down or if you even bobbled on your front stance after you did your trick and the other guy didn't, then you would have deductions and chances are you were getting second, even if your form was like great.
In NASKA, if you drop your weapon, you're automatically disqualified.
You're done. A lot of people just bow out after.
Yeah. And so I think that's something that gets lost, and especially in this Trickstar battle, a lot of people, they would just judge things differently. And obviously with the power of replay and getting to be able to go down and like Towels, for example, I know Towels in the description of this video has broken this battle down round by round to the matrix system, and he's not incorrect. It's one of the most thorough descriptions of a battle breakdown you could ever see. Unfortunately, when you're live at these events, you don't have the benefit of replay.
Yep.
You don't have the benefit of that. The other thing which shouldn't be taken into account, but like the room, like if it's hype, you get hyped towards one person.
Yes.
On the other hand, if someone really good falls, there's almost like the air gets taken out of the room.
Yeah.
When someone really good falls, you kind of feel like you hear a gas.
Oh, no.
Everyone's like, oh no, we're not expecting that.
Yep.
And I think that's what happened a lot during this night. So before we do it, let's get into the battle that ruined Andrew Franklin's life. The final battle, Andrew Franklin versus Michael Guthrie, and you won the coin toss.
Yeah, all right, y'all.
Asked him to go first.
This is it.
And so, we don't need to debate who won. Obviously, watch the battle, guys. It's been debated so many times by people, and we've kind of set it up and prefaced it by why certain judges would have judged a certain way.
I thought I was so cool with that mega swing.
Those first passes were
And then look what he does.
And then look what he does. But he had a little stumble there,
Yes,
right?
he did have a
He had a
stumble.
little redirect stumble, and he stumbled big right there and had another redirect. And here's the thing, guys. To see Michael Guthrie do that, it really throws your brain off. You're not used to seeing Guthrie do that. So it's really crazy, you know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And so you do a mini swing chain, keeping it safe, smart, boom. You technically took that run because you didn't fall on the last one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
In my opinion, you could say that. But in
Yes.
general, like, I think the thing that a lot of people just don't realize is that some judges, if you fall once,
They really care about that.
they really care about it. There's a lot of judges that think the same thing in b-boying. If you crash, you could come back with like a power set, but if you crash once, that's it. They know you crashed, you know?
100.
So unfortunately, I think that is what happened to Michael Guthrie here, because a lot of people, I think, thought it was favoritism.
Oh, everyone thought,
Woo, that was insane, Mike.
Everyone's like,
God
oh, he's a Nino,
damn.
so
And
the amigos are going to
Yeah.
always vote for him. Jeremy didn't vote for me, I
didn't
think.
vote for him. No, he did not vote for you, you know? And it wasn't a unanimous 5-0, you know? And we'll see in a second when the scores come up. But yeah, man, this is a crazy moment in tricking history. And how old are you at this point? I think that's what other people don't realize.
I had just turned 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
14 years old, battling Michael Guthrie.
Yeah, that was deathly scary.
Michael Guthrie's still in his prime now, but Michael Guthrie was also in his prime then in 2013.
The thing is, too, it's like Michael is my favorite. Like, always had been my favorite, you know, especially at that time. He was bussing. So I was like, this guy is, I'm literally battling one of my heroes right now.
If people were counting, they may have realized there's an extra round here.
Yes.
Because we actually went to the judges' scorecards and it was tied.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about that is a lot of people saw that and then thought, well, if it's tied, does it come down to the last round? And that's who won? Is it based on the last round? And I've told you this for all time.
Oh, yeah. This
that
aerial.
You shouldn't have ended with an aerial.
I had to be something else after
You
it.
should have ended with an aerial backside 10.
Yep.
Or aerial pop illusion. Anything else. And I think that's why people rag on you super hard on the last
100%.
combo. Yeah.
It's like people used to talk shit about people.
But press pause here, Connor. Judges: Anis Chuerfa, Andrew Franklin; Danny Graham, Andrew Franklin; Steve Tirada, Michael Guthrie; Chris Balua, Andrew Franklin; Jeremy Marinas, Michael Guthrie. Really crazy.
Wild.
Because what's wild about this to me is that Chris Balua, I naturally would think he'd be inclined to like Guthrie because he was kind of that guy that was pushing things ahead of the time and doing all the twists and stuff.
100.
I also would have thought that Steve Tirada would not judge somebody that fell. Didn't think that he would give it to somebody
Because of
that
his
fell.
roots, you know?
Because of his roots in
Yeah.
NASKA. So for me, this had me totally tripped out when I saw this. Jeremy, he's a wild card. Jeremy's a wild card. Honestly, yeah, he probably wasn't going to vote for you, just out of principle alone. But as you guys see, it's not staged. It wasn't 5-0 Andrew Franklin. It's 3-2. And this is after a tiebreaker round and after we kind of discussed, like, you know, Mike is the only one that technically fell in that battle. You didn't fall. You may have not done as difficult moves by far, and we've seen that through Talos' Matrix, but you didn't fall.
That is true. That is very true.
Just crazy. And so go to the results, Connor, because keep playing the video out. Because if you guys really want to see how not staged it is, look at my face.
Look at my face.
I'm tripping right now. I'm like, and you can really see it. Like, I'm confused right now. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, I go to Mike to say, bro, Mike, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know what's happening. Like, I literally thought I designed Trickstar for Mike to win.
I am.
And like, look at this post, bro. I'm like completely like confused, man. Like, and it was nothing like hating on you, like your family, but I honestly, to the tricking community,
I'm not even that happy. I'm like scared. I'm like, oh no, what just happened? I can't even talk about this for 3 months, bro. Like,
yeah, you got to keep it a secret.
Oh no.
But for all of you there, man, that's the veil fully pulled off. Can you try to pull up the playlist off Flow of Trickstar? I just want to like read down all the guys that are in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, the list is crazy.
But yeah, man, so for anyone that's out there that thinks this thing was staged for Andrew because he's from LA, trains at Jam, now you know the story. Watch my face in that video. Watch me at the end. I literally announce Andrew as the winner. I'm shocked. I go and shake Mike's hand and I'm like, whoa.
Yo, we all had no idea. We were like,
Like,
you see how apprehensive everyone was to come out and greet me like I was the winner?
Yeah.
They were like, wait a second.
So, yo,
wait a second.
So check this out. If you guys want to go back and watch the battles, they're still online at youtube.com/flow. Scroll up to the top, Connor. I'm going to go down to the bottom, actually. I'm going to read them in reverse order. Check out this battle series, guys. Round 1, Micah Carnes versus Andrew Franklin. Round 2, Matt Emig versus Seshamru. Round 3, Jefferson Lewis versus Andy Lee. Round 4, Nelson Zuniga versus Mo Alafrangi. Round 5, Kyle Cordova versus Kyle McLean.
Chee.
Round 6, Will Conies versus Michael Guthrie. Round 7, Velu versus Chris Afonso.
Ooh.
Round 8, Tim Farley versus Pat Chu, a.k.a. Ramen Food. Guys, at the time for 2013, it was one of the most epic battle series.
Wild.
And,
that was dope. It
and
was
yeah,
cool.
man.
It just being, honestly, even though it had the turnout it did and I got a lot of hate for it, just being around all those people was crazy. The stories that they would tell. I remember when everyone first flew in for the first part, you took everyone out to dinner at Gukaku.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when everybody was there, and everyone, even people were there that weren't battling, like all the homies that were just in LA, that training, were just there to chill, you know. I think, and we were all there, and just I remember Seshmaru telling stories about the old loop kicks days, and like hearing about just a lot of the origins of tricking, and a lot of pioneers reminiscing. It was crazy. It was crazy to me, just literally sitting and eating with your heroes, talking about the sport that you do.
It was super crazy, man. And I'm really proud of what we did for back in the day, man. Like, I know, like, nowadays McGuire's taken over with adrenaline and stuff. And people don't know, McGuire, his mom was like your mom. His mom reached out to me and said, hey, I heard there's this battle thing. Can he come watch? Yeah. And I was like, yes, if he stays quiet about the results, he can come watch. And so young McGuire was in the audience 6 years ago watching these battles live, keeping it a secret. And it's cool to see what he's doing with adrenaline now. But I'm really proud of what we did with Trickstar, man, for back in the days. For a lot of people that don't know, not only did I fly everyone out and put them up in hotels, they didn't stay at my house, put them up in hotels. I also paid everybody. I think I paid everyone $250 to do one battle. And then how much did you get for winning?
$2,000.
$2,000 cash, baby.
That was great, honestly. If there was one thing I was excited about, it was that Travis gave me $2,000.
Yeah. And there were some guys that if you did the first round of battling, so you technically, he got paid $250 for the first day, $250 for the second day, plus the $2,000. So $2,500 for 4 battles.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Hell yeah, man. Super crazy. And I'm glad that we've got to talk about this because for the longest time, man, I felt so responsible for all the hate that you got in the community for winning this competition that really in reality you had no idea about.
Oh,
you know?
I had no idea. I didn't even expect to make it past the first round. And then there we were. And I was shaking their hands. I was like, oh, no, here we go. Next thing you know, I'm a meme.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Next thing you know, I can't go on. There was a solid, I think, in that part of high school for me, like 2 years, where I just stayed the fuck away from Facebook.
From the tricking forum?
Oh, yeah. I was not on Facebook. I just said, yo, I'm off Facebook altogether. Because I couldn't go on there. And I would, like, go to watch people's videos, and I couldn't go on there without seeing my name. I'd be like, it already happened. Like, let's stop talking about it. It's okay. You know, like, we don't got to make jokes about it, you know?
I know.
Then I tried to stay off Facebook, and it, like, followed me because my friends who don't even trick found out I was a meme.
No way.
My friends who don't even, and, like, this is, like, there was no one tricking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I had to explain to my friends at the time what tricking was. Like, it wasn't really a big thing. Now at my same school, my brother goes to the same high school. And now he knows kids who come up to him and say, hey, are you Andrew Franklin's brother? Like, we trick too. We train too. Or, like, kids that say, oh, I've seen your brother at Jam.
Yeah.
Because they have Jam that's around. Back then, there was not a lot of places, you know. White Lotus wasn't known for the kids. For the kids weren't known to be going to White Lotus like they are Jam. And so when they found out I was a meme, it was over. I was roasted in both communities. My one at home and then everybody in the tricking community. It was crazy.
That's so funny. Yeah. Have you ever talked to Mike about this or no?
I don't think directly. I don't know. Maybe briefly, but I don't really think so. We've never had issues. Like, I've always really looked up to Mike. Like, and we've hung out recently. Not recently, but definitely after Trickstar. Hung out, saw each other. I think I saw him at Adrenaline one year. And he super cool guy, no issues. I don't think he had any issues with me. Maybe like right when it happened, he was like, little buddy, he's like, damn, bro, $2,000. Like, this kid's about to get $2,000 right now. Like, okay, but I don't think we've ever really had to talk about it because it wasn't really a real issue after a while. Like, he's doing his own thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
I know, in my humble opinion, if you guys were wondering, I don't really think I should have won, if you must know. If you can't tell already.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, if you can't tell by the look on my face when I was shaking hands and shit, like, I don't think I should have won. I was just surprised I got through any round at all. So, you know, I said, hey, I'm sorry, Mike. Like, I didn't mean to do this. Yeah, everyone's hugging me. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. It was crazy. And I remember that happening, and I'm like, how is this not going to get leaked? How is this not going to get leaked to the world?
I don't think it did. It really didn't.
Leaked.
Like, maybe a couple people that were like...
Nah, bro, because if it got leaked, people would have been talking mad stuff in the
100,
forums. Yeah.
100. Yeah, it was... It's definitely different then. Definitely different. It was just crazy. That whole experience was crazy. I wouldn't take it back for the world. It was something I went through and made me who I am. Like, you know, maybe I'll take back some of those memes, though. Yeah, take back some of those memes. There's some crazy ones out there that still get brought up to me some days. But, you know, it was fun. All in good fun.
Yeah, man. And after that, you kind of, like, continued on your journey. I know shortly after that, you kind of stayed with the Ninos. Like, 2014, we battled. We had the 5-on-5 where you even battled Guthrie in this 5-on-5.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
And then you got to go to Red Bull Kick It in Korea.
I did, because of you and Trickstar. So, you know what? I'll take it, because I got to go to
so
Korea in high school for... So pretty much, I think Andy Lay had gone the year before, and he hurt his ankle, I believe. Some sort of injury prohibited him from going. And at the time, there weren't many other big competitions besides Throwdown, Kick It, and then Trickstar, which had just happened. And so Peter called me and said, hey, Andy can't go. You're the next winner of some big competition. You want to go to Korea?
Trickstar, baby.
Yeah, he was like, you won Trickstar. Wow. And he gave me the opportunity to go to Korea and do Red Bull Kick It and battle with all the Koreans. I got to go with some good guys. I got to go with Jacob, which was really cool. Jacob Pinto. I got to go with Bailey Payne, Will Conies. Velu was there as a judge.
Yeah.
Steve was there as a judge. So
who won that year?
Kick Gun.
Kick Gun. That was
Kick
the first
Gun
year
won.
In-Gun
Yeah,
won.
Kick Gun won.
Okay.
I think that was a good one for me to go to, I think, just for my style, because I wasn't completely lost in the board breaks, you know? Like, totally. I did a couple board breaking. It wasn't nothing like the Korean guys, because they were killing it, you know?
Yeah, you and Jacob definitely hadn't practiced the board breaks like them.
Also, Kick It. We didn't know at the time we could have our own holders.
Yeah.
So we were also dealing with
other holders.
I love Koreans. They just like I couldn't talk to them at the time. I had no idea, you know, and they be like, "Oh, this," and I'm just placing it, and they don't really know what I'm gonna do. So when they're holding for their friends,
help you out.
They're like helping a little bit, maybe giving a little bit of resistance, or
totally.
Instead of just like holding it out there. But that was a lot of fun. Kick It was really fun. It's a good experience.
That's wild, man.
Good experience.
Hell yeah, man. Well, that's crazy, man. It's crazy to see the competition battling going full circuit. Do you have any more battles coming up? Or are you done, retired? You off the scene?
I'm done. I'm done. No more memes for me, dog.
At the age of 20.
Yeah, at the age of 20, I have retired from tricking. I'm tricking battles. I still trick all the time. I love tricking, you know. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to express yourself, great way to move. Keeps me going. I still have a lot of love for it, you know, because I feel like I still have long ways to evolve. I'm only 20. And even though I've been tricking for a while now, I still have things that I want to do, things I want to contribute to the community. I also, you know, I just want to kind of stay around. I don't got to be fully in it, but I want to know what's going on, put out tricks, try new things, learn all the new trends and whatnot. So it's fun. It's fun to try.
And I mean, if y'all live in the Los Angeles area and you want to learn from the Trickstar himself, he assists with tricking classes some weekdays, right?
Yeah.
What days are you down there?
I help Kyle Potter's massive class, which is a great class if you want to come teach it. Shout out Kyle. He makes sure that everyone comes and learns something and is always challenged the whole time. You're never going to come there and be bored of doing round kick, hook kick. And it's also very cool because he teaches Dan's curriculum. Yeah. And so you get to learn a little bit of both of the mainstream terminology and TKT, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. If Kyle is working or not doing anything or out doing something, then I'll be covering his class usually. But yeah, we have a great class. It's he teaches an intermediate advanced from 10 to 11, and then 11 to 12 is the basic class. Yeah. So come through. Come through
and check it out, man.
Yeah, it's a great class. Got a lot of good trickers in it. Up and coming.
So what's your focus now? Are you just fully focused on stunts for the rest of your time?
Yeah, stunts. There was a little bit when I was doing some acting stuff. I was going out and I did a couple small things here and there, a couple little movies. But I think now I want to stay moving. I want to keep doing something that keeps me involved in martial arts.
Yeah.
And a great way to do that is just pursue stunts and keep training and getting out there. So yeah, I think stunts is what I really see myself doing because I enjoy it a lot. I go out, do free stunt stuff all the time just because I love it. You know, I love doing fights, helping with fights, making fights. Even when I'm not in the fight, watching the way certain people do stuff, it's really interesting to me, and I enjoy it a lot.
I'm going to ask you this because you're super early on in your career, so I just want you to have like a marker years down the road. What's the coolest job you've done so far? Or what's the most memorable one?
I think the most memorable is the first real like job I did when I was 18. I got called. It wasn't even a stunt job. It was a stunt job, but I wasn't doing stunts.
Okay.
I was a tricking double on Alita Battle Angel.
Nice.
And shout out the lead double, Mickey Fascinello, which is also someone from Sharky's that I used to go and train with at camps. But she's an amazing stunt performer, works a ton. She's done great things. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the doubles on it, and they needed someone to just come in and do some tricks, some tricking. And so my first stunt job, like literally 2 months or 3 months after I finished high school, I was like getting ready to like start college pretty much, and then I got called for it, and I didn't end up going, and it changed my life really. Being out there, I was out there with so many people I just knew from LA. Like I was out there with Solomon Brendy. And Solomon was the first person I was ever on a set with when I was
when you were young.
10 years old. It was his first job ever, I think.
Was that the suit one?
Yeah, the superhero, Sportlets.
Yeah, Sportlets.
Yeah,
I remember that.
and I was a little martial artist in my XMA gi, and he was doubling a little. It was a German kids show.
Yeah,
and he was the lead double on it, and it was really cool to go full circle, and he got brought out as part of the team for the bar fight that I was a part of. And thank you, Garrett Warren C. Brown, for taking a chance on a stupid little kid. I was just there literally just to do tricks, and it was crazy. On the call sheet and on my trailer it said tricker double. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, like tricking is really a thing now. It's being recognized. That was super cool. But
it's crazy to see. Me and Luke were the first ones they ever wrote tricking in the credits on.
That's crazy.
Pirate Tricker 1 and 2 is me and Luke Brawley. The first time Tricker, I think, is in a credits. That's crazy. And just so the kids out here that trick can know and really understand what we're talking about when we talk about this, name the tricks you did on camera.
Oh, I did I did a jackknife to B-twist round kick, and then I did a scene that did not make it in. I did, I think, Webster to like a B-twist gainer or something like that. Not super hard moves, just had to do it in and out, overlap a little bit of choreo. But
and that's the name of the game. That's why I wanted you to say it.
Yeah,
because a lot of
basics.
People overlook the fact that you just need to have clean basics if you're trying to pursue this entertainment industry.
Yes, 100%. When I was submitting for the job, I was very nervous at first because I didn't know what kind of tricks they were going to send us. They said, hey, I'm going to send you the previs. Can you just send us a video of you copying the moves in the previs? And I saw the previs finally, and it was like backside 900. Then there was like a couple other moves, and like one of them was jackknife B-twist round kick. And I was like, hell yeah, like I can do this, like I'm gonna make it look as good as I can. And so, and that's really just what it was. I just needed to go in there and do clean basics, pretty much. That's it. It was a crazy experience. I did not do a lot on that show. I was just sitting back watching a lot of the time. Got to see a lot of the veterans do their thing in the bar fight. But it was definitely a good experience, and it made me fall in love with wanting to do stunts and really pursuing it for sure. I came home and was ready to go. By the time 2017 hit, I was in the mindset of like, okay, I'm ready. Like I really would like to do this.
Hell yeah, man. You got a lot of time ahead of you. I'm super jealous of the ages you're at. You're already here in LA.
Yes, it's crazy.
Man, I can't wait to see, and I'm sure we'll bring you back on and talk about a bunch of other stuff like once you're further in your career. Man.
Yes, as the years go on, I'd love to come back.
We'll remember that your favorite and most memorable job as of right now is Alita. So.
Yeah, crazy.
We'll see what it is next time.
Yes.
So yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming by, dude. It's something I've always wanted to talk about, and especially clear the air about this Trickstar stuff, and I kind of let you show your side of the story about it, because I think for a long time there was this whole thing that needed to be demystified.
Yeah. It was not fixed.
It was not fixed.
Just ended up going my way. Ended up somehow.
Hell yeah, man. So with that being said, dude, before we get out of here, just swing that mic in front of you and let the people know where they can follow you online at.
What's up, guys? You can follow me on Instagram at Andrew J. Franklin, and that's about it. You can add me on Facebook too, Andrew Franklin. I'm not really on there too much, but I'm on the IG a good amount.
Hell yeah, dog. And thanks for coming through, man. I really appreciate it. And for all of you out there, thanks for joining us again. Please be sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for brand new episodes. Jam breakdowns every Monday and brand new JAMCast every Friday, interviewing influential members of the movement community like Mr. Andrew Franklin himself. So got to give a very special shout out to Mr. Connor Simon for running the switcher app in the cameras today. Got to give a special thank you to our guest, Mr. Andrew Franklin, a.k.a. the Trickstar. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. Peace.